All right, guys. This is Abe Forest here. Today, June 28th, 2026. I'm going to be sharing my thoughts about the market generally. Okay. Predominantly the AI. Is it overhyped? Are we overexcited about the AI boom, or are the cracks beginning to show? I need to talk about this. When a groundbreaking technology emerges, investors overstate short-term gains, but accurately predict long-term impacts. Now, let's talk about the 1840s railroad mania. We need to understand that the United States of America and China are always on the forefront of every new technology or inventions. Now, let's talk about the 1840s railroad mania, the invention of the commercial steam locomotive, or should we talk about the 1990s dot-com bubble, which talks about the commercialization of the internet and the World Wide Web when it came to play. And now it's about the AI boom of the thing. Now the question now is the AI dispensation. Are we experiencing the AI bubble burst? Are the cracks beginning to show? The euphoria, the expectation, the hype, Note, the whole compute and system structure is about to be metamorphosed, because things are going to be changing as regards our systems, our technology items, our phones, laptops, or industrialization. Meanwhile, the AI needs to think, read, remember, store, and process data and information, thereby bringing about some constraints, some loopholes, some bottlenecks, and also choke points. AI needs memory, which talks about that it needs high bandwidth, which is one of the major constraints or major loopholes about the AI story. It needs it needs memories, it needs energy, also needs water for or for cooling system. And we get to know that China are trying to build their data centers in a very large sea, because the major challenge about this AI data center build out is heat. It generates so much heat, and they need cooling system, or probably what China did was to solve that problem was to embed their data center into the sea. For every new invention, there are always choke points, there are always bottlenecks, always some loopholes, and it's an advantage for investors to look out for all these loopholes and kind of look for solutions to all these things. And the question we need to ask ourselves is, between China and America, there's going to be a winner in this AI story. You understand? These two countries are at the forefront of new technology era, and anyone who is able to solve those problems is going to take the lead as far as the AI story is concerned. Like I said, AI needs memory, high bandwidth, it needs energy. Some use nuclear energy because it generates it needs high electricity. In fact, a whole data center uses electricity such that a whole town, what a whole town will use, just one data center uses what a whole town will use when it comes to electricity. So it requires high energy costs, and also batteries, solar systems, and the rest. And we talk about the water and cooling system, which China have been able to solve that problem. Some of them are building data centers in the water. Every industries, every sectors, every business, every enterprise, every company and unit is about to experience a systemic change as regards AI. And we need to know that the AI actually has the 5 building blocks, or I call it layers, which range between the chips, the memory, the photonics, the compute, and energy. In a separate video, I'm going to explain what that the AI 5 building blocks or layers. I'm going to do a video for that, probably in another episode. And we need to talk about the choke points, the bottlenecks as regards the AI story, which deals with majorly energy and also memory. And to answer that question, when Micron Technology revealed its quarterly earnings that happened last week, it went against people's expectation, because looking at Nvidia is beginning to show some cracks in the wall, and the stocks are coming down. Now if you look at what is on my screen now, you look at it for the past for the past 1 month now, after their quarterly earnings, you notice that Nvidia's market is dropping, the stocks is coming down, due to the fact that because of this AI story. Whenever there's a little bit of challenges, investors start dropping out their stocks, and we are seeing that on this chart. Now, to answer that question, we need to look at for when the Micron earnings came out. We want to know if you will see that it actually answer this question. The quarterly earnings, because of Micron is one of the major memory, semiconductor memory. They produce memory as well as SanDisk. You notice that their stocks is going up very, very high, and when it broke through from this high, it created more than 300% income back to their investors. From this point down to this point, you notice that it generated more than 300%, and that in its own answer the question that whether AI is being overhyped or the cracks are beginning to show. So another example that I want to give is looking at Nasdaq. Index has dropped for since like some weeks now, due to the AI story, and not because of the war in Iran. Because if you look at when the war started, it only had a little bit of effect in some period, but quickly the market recovered. For straight 9 weeks there was gains, and right now we are having a kind of cracks. I'm trying to bring out the Micron. Okay. So Micron is a company that produces memory, because we know that this AI story requires high memory. You understand? So Micron is going positive. So we can't say the AI story is affecting the market generally. So looking at this, Micron has answered that question, but Nasdaq is still coming down. When we look at my previous concern about the AI story, you find out that I talked about the fact that memory is part of one of the challenges that these AI data centers are. Memory is part of the challenges that we have in this AI story. And one of the reasons I'm saying that is that all these choke points, all these loopholes, are the major challenges as regards this AI story, and it needs to be curtailed. They need to do some things about it. You understand? Otherwise, prices of goods and services are going to increase in the sense that when we look at the way AI want to be structured, there's going to be changes in all ramifications. Industries are going to change. Prices of goods and services are going to change. In fact, software developers are going to, embed some of their software, models into the AI story. So that means that things are going to skyrocket in terms of price. And the same way, you notice that Microsoft lifts price of Xbox console, not just Xbox, so many of their products, citing memory issues, memory costs, has increased. And MU, which is Micron technology, is one of the major forefront runners in terms of the memory. SanDisk, the same thing. You understand? Then when we look at the Apple to follow the same procedure, that they've increased some of their items, their gadgets by 20%. So citing cost too, and that is due to the fact that the AI story, because every computer system, every devices, every appliances is going to be having a different look as far as the AI is concerned. Nvidia being at the forefront of all these things means that every chip that is going to be made starting from 2028 is going to be having a kind of changes in terms of the layers, the chips. I talked about the 5 AI layers, which I'm going to do in another video. So we need to understand the fact that things has changed, and we need to adapt to price change in all of our gadgets. I think that's what I think about the AI boom story. And the earlier the better people get to know this, the better for us, so that we can be able to adjust as far as the whole AI story is concerned. I'm going to be seeing you guys in another episode. See you later. Bye.